CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Glad you're with us on this Tuesday. We have an update on a single vehicle crash yesterday in Sudbury. Provincial police now say a Sault Ste. Marie woman has died of her injuries. Officers were called to the Highway 17 bypass in Sudbury around 1 a.m. Two people were taken to hospital, one with life-threatening injuries. The 74-year-old woman succumbed to her injuries in hospital. Police are still investigating the cause of the crash. Let's move now to the weather. And temperatures dipped a little today and also traces of snow. What can we expect for the rest of the week? For more details, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Tony, you'll get some colder weather at the tail end of the week, of course, leading into the weekend. And of course, some periods of snow. Let's check out our forecast radar, courtesy of CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. As we take a look at the system right now, kind of stationary right now along that Highway 17 corridor. But again, right behind me, my left shoulder, you'll see a system that I'll show you a little bit later on, moving in by Thursday into Friday with periods of snow. So some snow, some colder weather, Tony, coming in, and a little bit more. So a bit of a transition from what we've experienced the last couple of days. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. With healthcare workers now evacuated from Kashechewan, Indigenous Services Canada says it's working with community leadership to make arrangements for members who do not wish to leave. CTV's Lydia Chubak has the latest.
In cases of a full evacuation of a community, officials with Indigenous Services Canada says it's policy that the nurses are usually on the last plane out of the community, and they say nurses left a couple of days ago.
So the chief met with community members well in advance of the nurses preparing to leave and ensures that everyone is aware of the situation and they make decisions for themselves if they choose to stay in community.
Despite the current water crisis in Kashechewan, not every community member has chosen to leave.
We worked with WAHA, the Winnebago Area Health Authority, Orange, which is emergency land-based emergency response, and community and Ministry of Health to ensure that services are in place for community members who choose to remain in Kashechewan.
We're starting to make plans to get as much people out as possible. A lot of people that are currently in the community are deciding to stay. However, we're trying to develop some plans to allow them to be there, such as our community across the river, Fort Albany. So we're trying to see how they can access healthcare.
Westaway says it remains the chief's decision when community members can return, and she says it's difficult to suggest a timeline as engineers are still completing their assessment of the water system. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
It's back to the bargaining table for striking professors at Laurentian University in Sudbury. Laurentian University put out a statement early this afternoon saying the school and the union representing striking staff met with the Ontario Labour Relations Board yesterday and have agreed to go back to the bargaining table. Negotiations resume today and will continue tomorrow with a mediator. A 9-story building in downtown Sudbury could be the next piece in the community's homelessness strategy. Next week, City Council will vote on a plan to convert the former St. Anne Road Nunnery into 135 supportive housing units. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
30 St. Anne Road is a building with history. Once a nunnery and a diocese, the century-old structure was bought by investors in 2024.
We wanted something to be able to showcase how beautiful the building truly is. So we went to seniors types housing, maybe like Veterans Affairs. And then in May of 2024, the roadmap to end homelessness is when the city released it. And we were reading it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, our project checks this box and this box.
The 9-floor building currently has 3 tenants, including the nurse practitioner's unit and closet share. The group is hoping the rest of the space can be converted into a 135-unit supportive housing facility. Minor renovations would be needed, including a shower on each floor. They would partner with Sudbury Supportive Housing to manage applicants, with rent supplements offered to 80% of the building.
The owners are going to work with others, not-for-profits, provide programming and support services. Members who are going to be, coming in to live here are going to be asked to be sober for a period of time before being taken in. And then from there on, they're going to have the support needed to be able to stay there. The goal will be to transition them to either semi-independent or fully independent living within 12 to 18 months.
Councillors Mike Parental and Pauline Fortin will present a report next week recommending $1.5 million in incentives through the Community Improvement Plan. Because that fund is already established, Fortin says there is no direct hit to local property taxes.
We had the CIP program, which has been around for a very long time, and it's to fund fixing old buildings, facades, turning it into something that we can use.
Council is set to vote on this proposal next Tuesday. Branham says the project would take a phased approach, but she says she is hopeful that the first floor will be open to residents by early spring. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Northern Ontario Hockey Association released a statement sharing disappointment and concern with the actions of parents after a weekend of threats and bullying at rinks. CTV's Madison Merrier has more.
In a hockey game, referees have to watch for goals, penalties, and player injuries. But the NOHA is saying some issues are happening off the ice.
We've had instances where the person is waiting in the parking lot for them or waiting outside the dressing room for them.
We've always had challenges, involving behavior in the rinks, but this is the first year that we've actually tracked it. We're working with 3 organizations across Northern Ontario on a pilot that essentially tracks the behaviors.
This weekend, the NOHA shared examples of this behavior. A parent making a throat-slashing gesture to a ref, parents yelling abusive comments to players on opposing teams, and one hockey parent who appeared on video instructing players to intentionally injure their opponents.
From our end, we just need to continue to keep educating on expectations and handle in an appropriate manner the cases that do come across and ensure that the message is sent that that type of behavior won't be accepted.
The Hockey Association is looking at lifetime bans and permanent removals, as they say this abusive behavior is hurting the game and pushing people away from supporting youth hockey.
There's been young officials that have walked away because they're saying they don't want to be emotionally or mentally abused. We've also had some adults who have said, you know what, I come out here to try and give something back to the game that I enjoy and I love, but I'm not going to come out here and get yelled at and screamed at.
Marchand is hoping that the statement will remind parents to treat others with respect and that some actions can ruin a player experience. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5. Rick has your full weather forecast. Right now, let's head to Gillies Lake in Timmins. This live webcam is courtesy of that city. It's minus 13 degrees. We are back in just a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Welcome back. A little bit of snow overnight and today, and of course that trend will continue on again, off again over the course of the week, heading into the weekend. Forecast radar right now from Environment Canada looking pretty good right now. Then we've got this system that just swept right under me. This is what we got, some periods of snow by Thursday, and we'll keep a close eye on that as to the actual amounts. 5-day forecast now, Sudbury Nickel Belt. Wake up to minus 27 tomorrow in Greater Sudbury. Chance of snow on Thursday, periods of snow on Friday after that system, that low pressure system moving into the northeast. Saturday, sunshine at minus 17, minus 15 come Sunday. So we go from minus 6 to minus 17, minus 18 for the weekend. Sault Ste. Marie Algoma, wake up to minus 30 tomorrow, periods of snow on Thursday, minus 4, minus 7 Friday, chance of snow. Cloud cover Saturday, minus 15, and Sunday, the chance of snow at minus 10. So cooling down Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Wake up wind chill, minus 28 tomorrow. Chance of snow on Thursday, minus 8. Periods of snow Friday, minus 8. Minus 20 on Saturday. Talk about a big change of the temperature, but loads of sunshine Chance of snow on Sunday at 30%. Super Bowl Sunday with a high of -17. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, here we go. Wind chill tomorrow morning -24. Chance of snow on Thursday again at 40%. Periods of snow on Friday -8. Then, okay, just like the rest of the Northeast, we go from -9, -8 to -19 on Saturday. Loads of sunshine, though, on the cool down. And Sunday, chance of snow -16. Feels more like the winter weather we should be getting early this month. -25, -26, and -24. The lows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then there's North Bay, West Nipissing. Wind chill tomorrow morning at -22. Chance of snow on Thursday at 40%. Periods of snow on Friday. I like that temperature. -6 degrees. Then it gets colder. Saturday, sunshine, -17 and -16 comes Sunday. Chance of snow, even the overnights kind of cold. -24, 25, and 26. Tony, so there you have it. Change things up just a little bit in the late innings of this week. So again, some colder weather and some snow in the forecast. Back to you.
Thanks, Rick. North Bay residents are going to have to dig deeper into their bank accounts this year. Property taxes are going up. Last night, City Council approved a 3.95% tax increase. According to the municipality, just over 1% will be used for city operations, while the remainder will go to support services from what it calls external partners. The approved increase amounts to about $9.92 for the average homeowner.
The budget adheres to the principles of sustainability, ensuring today's decisions do not compromise future financial capacity, accountability, providing clear, accessible information on how public funds are allocated, risk management, planning for contingencies and maintaining appropriate reserve levels, and strategic alignment, supporting Council's priorities and the city's long-term plans.
The 2026 capital budget totals $82.7 million. Some key projects getting funding include the construction of a second water main, the replacement of the Premier Road pumping station, and improvements to Trout Lake Road. A North Bay City Councillor has announced he's throwing his hat into the ring. Jamie Lowry says he plans to run for mayor in the municipal election later this year. He made the decision based on the budget process. Lowry adds one of the items in the budget that worries him is spending $3 million on a homeless hub when no location or operator to run it has been chosen. Lowry plans to run a campaign based on affordability and modernizing city business.
Modernization of how we conduct ourselves in a more business-like fashion. And, you know, being business-like isn't a bad word, because when you have those policies and processes, you can deliver services that much more effectively.
Meanwhile, a city councillor in Sudbury has announced his plans to run for mayor. Bill Leduc says his campaign for the top job will focus on 4 key promises: bringing back the Auditor General position to the city, focusing on homelessness with supportive housing, using the 1.5% capital levy from the city budget exclusively on roads, and canceling the downtown event center. Leduc believes voters are dead set against the new arena, adding costs for the project have skyrocketed and taxpayers can't afford it.
We still have to go and borrow another $135 million. We currently have $65 million sitting there earning us interest. So at any given point, we can stop the arena and we can refocus and make it a hub for the Greater Sudbury Police, our EMS, our fire. And this gives them an opportunity to have the referendum where it's a vote for Leduc. We stop the arena.
Leduc is still facing charges from the previous election when he allegedly violated spending rules. If convicted, he would be ineligible to run for office this year and could face up to $25,000 in fines, according to the Elections Act. He says there's been no movement in the case since the Election Finance Audit Committee has not moved the case forward through the court system. And candidates can officially submit their intention to run starting May 1st. The deadline is August 21st at 2 p.m. Municipal elections province-wide are scheduled for late October. Creative thinking coming up on CTV News at 5. A woman west of Sudbury is taking wedding dresses and making gowns for families who have lost a baby. The airport in North Bay is going to see more traffic in the coming months. Officials with the Jack Garland Airport say routine daytime training flights will be taking place to support ongoing operations. It's meant to highlight the city's expanding role in advanced aviation and defense training. The International Tactical Training Centre, a division of International Test Pilot School Canada, will use the airport as part of its ongoing training schedule and operational development in North Bay. The Northern Ontario School of Medicine has received a major donation supporting Indigenous health. Anonymous donors have provided $5 million for the school to create the Circle of Indigenous Health Research and Innovation. The Circle will provide space for Indigenous-led research, education, and advocacy. It will be run through the University Centre for Health Equity and bring together Indigenous health organizations, elders, community leaders, along with other partners. Sudbury has been named as one of the best cities for fishing in Canada for 2026. According to Fishing Booker, Sudbury is a key destination for anglers because of the easy access to fishing locations and the diversity of fish they can catch. Sudbury's parks, waterfront, and outdoor attractions also make it a prime location for those hoping to explore the community beyond its 300 lakes. Fishing Booker uses data from booking trends and searches on the platform to create the list. A retired healthcare worker in Spanish west of Sudbury is using her time to create gowns for families who experience the loss of a baby. She makes the garments using donated wedding gowns. CTV's Lindsay Alick has her story.
These ones I'm just finishing up.
Deborah Sharp spent 30 years as a nurse in palliative care.
It's such an honor to be with somebody as they leave this world. I look at it like when a child is born, the energy and the atmosphere is so warming and loving. When you are older and you leave this world, it's actually the same thing, only reversed.
Now she's spending her time taking wedding dresses and turning them into gowns.
I was over at Jen's house and she goes, I really wish I could make gowns or something with this dress. So I told her, well, give it to me and I'll see what I can do.
She was able to turn her friend's dress into 5 gowns. Soon after, she shared on social media she was looking for donations and received 20, with more on the way.
I hope they feel some closure in their heart and try to think of good memories when they see it and the happiness, even though if it was only for an hour that they held that child.
She's been in contact with nearby hospitals and hopes to make donations soon. At 70 years old, Sharp says she will continue to make gowns as long as her body will allow her to, with hopes that people will continue to donate their wedding dresses. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Spanish.
And he won't last long. When we return, what pet is up for adoption this week and Take Me Home Tuesday? You will find out right here on First at 5.
I wonder at times if it's too early to start thinking about Valentine's Day and that special gift. Welcome back to Take Me Home Tuesday. Emma Bailey, as usual, from the Sudbury SPCA. A dog is a gift for Valentine's Day. Emma, what do you think?
I think it's best that people pick it out themselves. If it's a partner wanting to come in with their partner, we would love that. But it's always best to not gift them, just want to find them that perfect partner. So with our buddy right here, we have Keith. He's only 11 weeks old. He's still a puppy, and he's looking for a delayed adoption. So as part of his adoption, he'll be spayed and neutered, microchipped, and vaccinated. So we're just waiting on his surgery. So for now, he can go into a home and then come right back for his surgery.
And with a face like that, you'd think every mom would love that dog, and Keith is certainly a winner. 11 months old, comes from a big litter, I understand.
Yes, he came down with 7 of them, so at 11 weeks they're still learning their behaviors, they're all playing with each other, they just love getting attention. So we have Lindsay also available, she's available for adoption, and then the rest should be available soon. And Keith here is just so loving and sweet, and we're just trying to find him that perfect home.
What about kids and a potential family home for Keith?
the thing with puppies is it's great that they're so adaptable. So Keith would do great in a home with kids, possibly a slow introduction with other dogs, things like that. They're really good at adapting to their environment. So if it's a busy home, he can keep up with the busyness. He will be a large breed dog, so he'll be large when he's bigger. But with that, you just got to keep him active and take care of him, and he'll be just the loving person you want.
And he's not afraid of the camera. I've got to say, he's doing very well for himself. So in terms of adaptability, he seems to meet all the criteria. And again, you mentioned his size. So are we talking above average, medium-sized dog?
Probably larger, German Shepherd size, probably. We're believing he's a German Shepherd mix, but we're not sure what the mix is. So with that, we can say he'll be a larger dog if he ends up being medium than he does. But we just want everyone to be prepared for a larger dog.
Okay, Valentine's Day coming up. I mean, you've got to make the call yourself. We've got to get a home for Keith. Remember, give Emma a call at the Sudbury SPCA or any one of the staff over there. They'll be more than happy to help you. And we'll be back with more Take Me Home Tuesday, and we've got to find a home for Keith. Remember, we'll keep you posted in 7 days.
Our first community close-up is from North Bay. Trevor Bush sent us a series of photographs from Sunday and the Winter Wonderland. He says these pictures were taken from Sunset Point overlooking Lake Nipissing. Those are great shots. Thanks so much, Trevor. Let's go southwest of North Bay to Restoule. Anna and Stephen Grobbarger emailed us this photograph. They say deer and moose have been spending time in their backyard for several weeks now. Thanks so much for this, Anna and Stephen. And to Swastika near Kirkland Lake, Raymond Bourgeois says she decided to use an old window frame and painted some flowers in it and displayed it in her dining room. Great job, Raymond. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And it was a happy accident that made an Ottawa couple a little richer. Donna and Derek Roy are January's winners of the HSN Foundation's 50-50 draw, but Derek says he purchased the HSN ticket by mistake, thinking he was supporting a different hospital. The couple took home more than $380,000, which they say is a blessing as they live on a fixed income. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.